Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. How are you all doing today? Toretta, thank you for the 3rd month. I'm live on YouTube and Twitch, ready for this eviction episode. Thank you to the soccer, the 13th month. Exciting stuff, yes. Lori, thank you for the 36th. Alex, thank you for the 24th. What a day. I had a productive day today. I replied to so many emails and messages. And I even got a little night rain in. Just beat the Everdark Augur. Like literally 5 minutes ago. I was like, I have just enough time. If you were not paying attention this morning, maybe you listened to the update, maybe you haven't heard anything since. Basically, what we expected so far has been the case. There have been some minor talks, and Ava continued to push. Marcus, thank you for the 57th. Continued to push, and it seems as though she has in fact killed the plan. Who knew? The plan to split the vote. Oh, we also did get a preview of the Blockbuster. Trying to see if I can pull it up. Not sure I can find it. Is anyone a link? Authenticate. Thank you for the gifted. Yes, thank you for the 39th. Basically it's there's 2 rooms and you need to run back and forth and guess how many differences there are in the rooms. Dolores, thank you for the 52nd. Let me see if I can. There's too many things on the screen. Actually, how do I hide the things? There's too many things. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. Let me see if I can pull this up for you.
The study. I'm going to try it, go from room A to room B, and spot as many differences as I can find. And I have to clock in under 2 minutes with a final answer. Let's go.
Crazy.
So loud. Oh man. Why is it so much louder than her voice?
I counted 6.
There we go. That is the Blockbuster tonight. Is the answer actually 6? We have no idea. Simply think of the 10th. I will say again, as per usual, Jahok, thank you for the 19th. I would say this favors people that can move a little faster. But only by a little bit. Carson, thank you for the 57th, 56 of those in a row. CC, thank you for the 23rd in a row. What I was saying was that basically, like, I'm assuming that you have 2 minutes, but whoever buzzes in first with the correct answer wins. So obviously the fact that Julie seemed to be moving a lot means that, like, you know, moving faster is definitely going to be an advantage. But no, I mean, yeah, I think just straight up is an advantage, because it's not even just that you look at one room, it's that you're going back and forth looking at 2 different rooms. So the faster you can go back and forth, the better for sure. So being faster is definitely an advantage, but unless you get it exactly right, it's not going to help you. So, you know, if I'm Will and I'm like, I'm never going to be faster than Will, than Kelly and Adrian, I'm probably just going to take my time and just make sure I get it right, and then hope I can win that way. All right, so we have the episode about to start. Let's go, says Julie.
Making waves in the House continue to evade eviction, which means tonight.
What? A pawn must go home? Julie. Julie, Kelly is a target. Beats Mara, thank you for the 24th in a row. Let me pull up a prediction. We can do a prediction still. Commercial by 5:13. She is an amazing friend. Hold on. When did we get that Lauren DR? Was that from yesterday's episode? Schmo, thank you for the 47th. Did I just miss that from yesterday's episode? Was it from episode? I thought that, but then I feel like she was dressed the same. Must have been. It must have just been from an earlier episode. Sardonic, thank you for the 16th. This is a 60-minute episode. April, thank you for the 44th. Megan, thank you for the 100 bits. I would not anticipate HOH being on the show now. all that jazz. Think of the 8th month. Is a tie still possible? It is possible, but at this point, it seems fairly unlikely. Something would have had to have changed in the last couple of hours, or something would need to change in the 2 minutes they have before the vote. If Kelly loses Blockbuster, she's going home. That's always been the case. But now, if she wins the Blockbuster, it's very likely that Adrian goes home. Ash, think of the 12th. Did he fight hard to not be a nom? I also thought it was weird to hear Julie say nom. Metal, thank you for the 4th. Told you Kelly was a target. Oof. No, I don't know how they got to her, says the man who spent all day not talking to her. I don't think you can say at all that you don't want Adrian to go at all. So if you didn't want him to go at all, probably wouldn't have put him up, right? I will say I appreciate Lauren in the diary room because she's really chill. The kid doesn't even curse. Man, I really want to like Adrian. I feel like he's got all the ingredients to be such a likable character. But the way he plays is just so lame, and he keeps talking about how he hates lying. Oh boy, this is outdated. Oh, here we go. This is the thing. Mickey is not wrong, but the way she's going about it, I think, is a mistake. Because she's really been pushing Morgan away. Ooh, this is getting close. This is getting close. 10 seconds. Oh my god, it was the tiny little audience applause. Okay, maybe it was a little bit longer. Jeez, this is a long linger, huh? 12 seconds passed. No commercial. All right, next prediction. Ava diary room. Do we get an Ava diary room in the next section? In the next segment? The thing about Ava shutting down this potential tie vote is that it feels like they're not actually super likely to show her involvement in it. Because not only did it happen very recently, but it also is the thing that shut it down, and they normally like to pretend that it's still gonna happen. They could still do it though. Because it's not like it completely, I mean, it did completely shut it down, but they still kept talking about it. Do do do. Do do do. I mean, if they were really all about good TV, they would show it, and then they would show Ava going, I think I just influenced someone. All right, we're back. Okay, I feel really weird staring at these people's, like, the back of their heads. I feel like this is not Thursday content. That was so random. That was so random. It was a fun little segment. Just like, we have such little time on Thursdays. I mean, to be fair, everyone is saying that. This is not necessarily a leak. This was a very silly thing to do, though, for Mickey. That's a good question. I mean, that isn't exactly what she said, but I was saying I don't like how Mickey has handled it. This is an awful way for Morgan to handle it also. She doesn't even know that this is true. I mean, it is. Sort of. But it's wild to not even talk to a person that you claim that you're your genuine final two. I think the reality is that she was never your genuine final two because you always wanted to be with Zach more. Are they acting like this was Morgan's? Like, oh, Morgan is the potential flip vote? I mean, I think she could have been, but they didn't push that. Ava mention. We barely even got to the dilemma, let alone an Ava DR. Who wins the Blockbuster? Is it Adrian? Is it Kelly? Is it Will? Didn't they already do a Freakier Friday? Am I wrong? I thought they already did that. How did I name it before they even showed me the title? I said haven't wasn't there already a Freakier Friday, and then it went Freakier Friday on my screen. How would I know that if this is a new thing? I feel like I'm being gaslit. It's been in talks for years. I mean, it's not exactly the kind of movie I think I'd be like up on the gossip of, but you know, all right. Listen, I'll believe you. How long do you have to order a book with a signature? As long as it's a pre-order from uh the link on the website, TaranArmstrong.com. There will be like a last time to order, but that won't come until like at least probably October, I assume. Who do I think will win the Blockbuster? I mean, I think based on Kelly's previous observation performance, plus the fact that she's probably speedy enough, she probably has the edge, but it honestly could be anyone. We're back. I already see one difference. Hello in the chair. Okay. They just showed us 3 differences. They showed us an additional 1 at least. Now an additional 2. I think we're at least 5. Yeah, Julie did say it was 2 minutes. Oh, I see another one too. It's got to be at least 6 now. That's Julie said she counted 6 for what it's worth, but she also said there was 2 minutes. Oh, the split screen is great. Except we don't see Kelly and Adrian in it. Where are they? They're not really like going into the rooms, which makes some amount of sense, but like you really want to be sure about what you guess. 30 seconds in. Kelly has put 7. That's a pretty good guess, too. I think we counted, I think I counted at least 6. Oh, Adrian has 6. 16? Will, once Adrian buzzes in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think Kelly wins, right? Wow. Wow. The vote that they've been talking about for days is the vote that comes, and Ava crushes the tie vote at the last moment. It's possible they change their minds. It's possible. It's theoretically possible. Don't discount the possibility of like a chemo moment where Adrian is like pleading for his life and they give each other a look. You know what I mean? 16 is wild. All right. Kelly won the Blockbuster. Here's the prediction. Vote count. Is it 6-6 Adrian? Sorry, it would be 6-6 Will, most likely. Person named is the person voted out. We could do 5-7 Adrian. We could do 4-8 Adrian. Three 9 Adrian. We could try for like a 7-5 Will. We could go to like a 10-2 Adrian. 11-1 Adrian. Any other Will vote? Any other age? I think I counted all the age. Hold on. We'll go unanimous. 12-0 Adrian. Any other Will vote? Okay. So I wrote this a little bit confusing, so I apologize for that. But there's two options where Will gets evicted, 6-6, 7-5. And then the third option, which is any other vote count where Will is evicted. All the other ones are the various votes in which Adrian is evicted. I don't have 6-6 Adrian listed, but that's very unlikely. But I will put it there just in case. Okay. Oh, Will doubled it. Like he counted 8 and then thought, oh, there's like that doesn't really make a ton of logical sense. But it's possible. If you count each individual difference as its own thing. Wouldn't that be wild? Wouldn't that be wild if Adrian gets evicted because Will accidentally doubled his guess? Because if Will had not doubled his guess and actually did get 8, then Will would have won and Adrian would have stayed against Kelly. Number 1, if that's a correct theory, and number 2, if the vote actually plays out that way. Looks like 4-8 Adrian is the most popular option at the moment, followed by 6-6 Will. That does make some sense. With Vince and Zach as the two holdouts for the 6-6, or they change their minds and they go 6-6. I do think they were planning to give a little bit of a heads up, which could snowball the vote a little more. But I don't think there's many people that would willingly flip over. Catherine said she was voting no matter what. You'd assume Riley follows. I'm not sure that Keanu cares to flip his vote. And then I can't imagine the scenario where Kelly cares about voting with the house either, so it could just end up being 4-4 or 4-8 regardless in that case. Mystery, thank you for converting. But again, don't count out just the fact that this could still go through. I mean, Vince and Zach have such a hard time withstanding pressure. If they do go to give a heads up or have gone to give a heads up, they could have been talked back into it, theoretically. Okay, thank you for the conversion as well. Is conversion good? I mean, it's theoretically a regular sub is better than a prime sub, but not by that much. We're back. Vince and Zach and Lauren are gonna freak out. That was the least enthused clap. Oh my god, they could not contain their disappointment. Ava, I'm so sorry. Oh, Rachel's very pleased. This fit exactly what Rachel wanted. As long as the votes go the way that they wanted to. Oh, is Adrian's wasting his time with Keanu? That's the last person you need to talk to. I can't let my family. Why are you saying this to Keanu? Say it to Vince and Zach. Oh man, he spent his entire time talking to Keanu. Zach, Vince, and Lauren talking alone. They definitely, I guarantee you, were considering it again. It is still potentially possible. Adrian better give the chemo speech of his life here. Oh my god. or 6. Vince is first? Well, we know it immediately then. The very first vote, we know how this is going to go. Oh, there it is. Whoo! At least he made it dramatic. At least he made it dramatic. For a second there, he kept going, but he very nearly went, woo. I'm sorry, you can't be like, oh, I'm so sad to evict Adrian. Shout out to my people, I'm doing this. Like, come on. So there's one for Will. I hear the voices in her head every time. Wow. Wild. Wild that flipped back. You saw how guilty Ava felt because Ava knows that she stopped him from staying. Ava fully knows that this was entirely on her. Oh man, I can't believe Kelly actually won and then they actually didn't flip. That's so wild. I mean, I will say, I often think about like who am I like I say this all the time. I think about like who am I going to be talking to this week? What kinds of things might I ask them for the exit interview? And genuinely never once did I consider what I would say to Kelly. I just feel like I knew it in my bones that she wasn't leaving. And maybe the reality is that like she's been on the block like every time. So it's like, all right, you know. Can't always be thinking about what I'll say to Kelly. But also just like the fact that the vote all week long was not all week long, the last few days has all been about this particular scenario. And it's just been like, it's wild that we're caring so much about the one scenario when it might not even happen. And then it did happen. I feel so sad for Adrian. I wish he were a different player. I think that like the way that he played the game is a huge part of why this is happening to him. But it still sucks to see a kid who's so passionate about being there and who really like wants to perform. The whole like, needing the money kind of thing, I know is, I mean, even besides all of that, just like, I think the passion to be there alone is just like, it always sucks to see people go that way. And I think what we're seeing here again, we've talked about this a lot, but like what the Blockbuster does is it makes these evictions so much more emotional because they weren't finalized until just now. It's why Zach cried in the first eviction. It's why there were multiple people crying in, last season's evictions. All right, we're back. Here's Catherine. Catherine's vote was expected. She said she was doing that no matter what. Wild. I cannot believe they're voting Adrian out. I can't believe he went on the block. I can't believe they're voting him out. Riley sticks with the vote as well. I'm very curious to know what their explanation. Not that they need an explanation for players like Riley and Keanu, but I'm definitely curious to hear what their explanation is. They were planning to say, "Oh, we didn't have the votes," but that's just so clearly not true. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it with how many people keep sadly voting and then happily shouting out. Thank you. At least Ava could barely get her shoutouts in because she was genuinely feeling emotion. And at least Rachel didn't say sadly. I mean, because this was Rachel's best case scenario. I mean, this could not have played out better for her. All right, this is it. I'm assuming Kelly votes out Will. She does. It is, in fact, 8-4. He knew. Ava's so sad. He doesn't even know why she's that sad. The audience doesn't, the casual audience doesn't even know why she's that sad. They have no idea. Why did we randomly cut to Vince and Jimmy hugging? So dramatic. What a twist they have on their hands. It was in fact 8 for Adrian. Congratulations to the 8 for Adrian betters. Next prediction. Goodbye messages? Yes? No. Would it have been better for Ava to flip? No, absolutely not. It's not that she regrets doing it. It's just that she feels guilty because she's directly responsible for crushing this kid's dreams. You know what I mean? Like that's a hard burden to carry. And I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like it's not in the sense of like Lauren being like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I did this to you." When in reality it's more so that like she's just sorry she feels bad. Whereas like Ava genuinely I think just feels bad for Adrian. She's like, "I had to do this, but it sucks. Oof. I'm so sorry for him." I think for the 39th month. Yeah, it's wild that Ava basically did that and nobody even really knows yet. She still hasn't really talked to anybody on her side about it. I'm very curious to know what the reaction will be, to know that it actually might have come close and that they might not believe her. which is interesting. All right, we're back. Dirty dogs. Not wrong. What do you mean, Adrian? What's the context? Ms. Think of the 18th. Sounds like no goodbye messages. Does that mean they only did goodbye messages for Amy so that they could do the mastermind gag? Honestly, the biggest thing for me about Adrian being evicted is that now I'm worried that Morgan really might win the wall comp. I was really excited for Adrian to beat Morgan in the wall comp. Can we just talk about how 2 of the 3 weeks that we've had so far, Zach and Vince have had the votes to get what they want and just didn't do it? just chose not to. And 2 of the 3 weeks, they have both been sitting there like, oh, this sucks. Do something about it. You have the ability. Chickens, apparently. They're chickens. Oh, boy. Wow, I genuinely can't believe that happened. All right. No goodbye messages. Let's run a prediction. Let's do who wins HOH, and I'll try to remember to answer it in the morning. We'll go something like Jimmy, Rachel, Ava, Ashley, Mickey Morgan, Zach Vince, Kelly Keanu, Catherine Riley. That's 12. There's 3 people evicted. There's 13 competing. Who am I missing? Will? We'll go Ava, Ashley, Will. I think that's it, right? 17 players, 3 were evicted, 1 is outgoing HOH, 13 players total. Yeah, that should be enough. All right, there's the prediction. Who wins the HOH? Rochon, thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the Robot Army. Backyard was closed down for a while. It appears to not be endurance, or at least the kind of endurance that would be on the feeds. We need to figure out what the context of pulchritudinous is. Because I did not catch the conversation in the house about it if it was on the feeds. Pulchritudinous describes a person of breathtaking, heartbreaking beauty. A grandiose way of saying someone or something is good looking. I don't get it. I am on the podcast tonight. So come and join. Wow, big money on Jimmy and Rachel so far. Kelly and Keanu not that far behind. I mean, obviously the question to ask at this point is, what's up with the lying thing? Um, man, I keep saying it. It's just so wild that that happened. I can't believe that not only did Lauren nominate Adrian, but they evicted him. Oh boy. HOH is very important as always. You know, I, I could be very important. Chris, thank you for the 17th. If we get another Lauren or Vince HOH, then it's probably not important. Or maybe important in the opposite direction. Can I explain Ava flipping the vote? Basically, Zach and Vince tried to flip Ava in hopes of getting a 7th vote. So that Lauren wouldn't have to break the tie. And then in the process, Ava flipped them. That's basically it. They went to flip Ava and she said, actually, Uno reverse card. And they went, oh, crap. Didn't you realize you had one of those? I mean, it's impressive, but nobody really knows that she's done it so far. Yeah, I mean, this was... What I will say is that this is slightly less bad for Vince than it is for Zach. It would have been worse for Vince if the more likely thing had happened and Kelly had gone home. Of course, I'm sure Vince will somehow find a way to get Kelly in trouble again. And if he doesn't, Kelly will find a way. But Adrian was so good for Zach's game. Adrian was unbelievably good for Zach's game. He was the one person who had a crush on Zach who wasn't jealous of all the other people that had crushes on Zach, if you get what I'm saying. Just like loyal to Zach for almost no reason. But not in a weird way where he was like, I need Zach all to myself. Allie, thank you for gifting a sub. And he was capable of winning comps. And was a target in front of Zach. A number for him. Wow. Wait till he finds out Zach was a liar. I mean, the thing is, what's going to happen is he's going to find out that everyone was lying. And he's just going to pick his favorite people anyway. Because that's all it ever is. This is actually something in my book. I talk about lying specifically and the ways in which we look at lying in the context of the game. how it's used as a tool. Check out the book. Anyway, I gotta run. I gotta go to the podcast. But thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoy the podcast. Head over there and check it out. And I will see all of you very soon.